Hello and welcome to week 5 of AC 4420 Corporate Tax Accounting. Remember the contact information here with the name, the email address, and the phone number. We also have the office hours down here. It's currently at Wednesday at 6 p.m. I think I'm going to keep that this week for Wednesday at 6 p.m. You want to call in here if you would like to go to the office hours. It is in a question and answer format. It's not a lecture format. Once called in, we could use the screen share software as needed at that point in order to work through problems in that way. Going to scroll down to the current week that we are in, the final week being a week 5. We have the familiar layout with the objectives. We've got the topics and we have the lessons here. Topics include tax implications of property acquisitions, dispositions, and transfers. So we have the lessons down here. So remember, we have the book resources are going to be here. This is basically your book resources. You want to click on these items, read through this information in order to get the information needed for the problems. Then everything from the discussion forums on down, this is what we will be doing for the week. And we have the discussion forums here, so that's going to be the first thing we want to do. Remember, they're worth 21% of the grade, huge piece of the grade. Want to make sure to pick up full credit on the 21%, 100% of the 21%. You have the most control over that, so I would make sure to pick that up by having at least 4 posts. I would post like 7 or 8 times if at all possible. You can research the topics on Google and whatnot, but to get full credit on a post such as that, you want to reference the post, make sure you're not plagiarizing, and then follow up with the post with an explanation of what the post is in your own words, and or a critique of what has been found in terms of whether you agree with it or how it's applicable, and that type of discussion that we can then add to. Then we have the assignments, the homework, and the final. So of course the final is going to be worth the most points, so you want to make sure to pick that up. We do not have the possibility for late work at this point, so you make sure to get the final in there by Sunday. You do not want to get 0 points on the final, so make sure to get that in there. If you have any problems with that, let me know. Remember that the grades will push out of my hands by Tuesday, so by Tuesday they'll be out of my hands. If there's any issues, you want to get to me as soon as possible so that we can take care of it before that time. I have very little control after that time. Then we have the assignments here, and we have the homework. Same type of idea. They're going to be in a paper format. Anytime you have a paper format, I suggest using the APA format on that, and I suggest making the paper so that you're addressing it to someone other than the instructor, as if anybody could read it without knowing what the actual question was, and put the introductory paragraph explaining what's going to happen. I would make an argument in the introductory paragraph making a claim that would then be backed up by the body and then summarized within the conclusion of that. Alright, so I'm going to go back up to the gradebook up here on the left hand side, green icon. So remember that the grades are going to be due on Sunday, and then I have until Tuesday to grade it. So for example, week 4, it's going to be due on Sunday. I should have everything updated and graded by Tuesday, following that Sunday of the close of the week. And therefore you want to go in here on Tuesday and make sure that everything that you have done has then been populated in the way that it should be. And if it's not, let me know. And if you have anything that has not been yet completed, you want to see if you can pick up the late work on it. For example, the week 4 discussion should turn from a dash to a 0. I mean, from a dash to 100%, because hopefully we were getting 100% on that. If we didn't do it, it would turn to a 0, but we're going to get 100% on that hopefully. And then we got the assignments, we've got the quiz, same thing, and the homework. Now you want to go through here, and anything that is not done, anything that is a 0, you want to go through and see if we could pick that up in the final week. The same thing will happen for the final week, in that you want to complete everything for week 5, and then I have until Tuesday following the final week in order to update the grades. Any questions, and I'm going to try to do it by Monday in the final week so that you can get to me immediately if there's any questions about the grade before the grades push out of my hands, which does happen on Tuesday. So although the class does close and there's no late work that is available after the final week, week 5, if there are problems and there's any questions about the grades, then let me know as soon as possible so we can kind of take care of that before the close. Also, if anybody has some unusual circumstances like a hospitalization or some kind of unusual circumstance and they want to try to file for a 2-week extension, then let me know about that. That may be a possibility in some circumstances. I do not recommend doing that normally because the process doesn't always go through, and it usually really kind of backs people up in the next mod because you're going to be completing this class and then have 2 other classes. But if that is something that would be applicable to somebody, then let me know and we can see if we can go through the incomplete process on that. So that's going to be it for week 5, so have a good week 5. And then we have the instructor survey down here. This is mainly geared towards the instructor's performance and not geared so much towards things that the instructor does not have control over. So some of the things that the instructor does not have control over are the amount of material that's going to be in the course, the use of technology such as Connect, and the Moodle Room setup, how Moodle Room is set up. If you have questions about those things, then please put those into the comments in the survey, and I will relay those. Hopefully we can relay those to the design team, who is the one in charge of that type of stuff. The information that the instructor does have control over is basically how fast they get back to student comments, how much they're going to post to the discussion forums, any added resources on top of the McGraw-Hill and Moodle Rooms added for use and benefit of students. Those are the types of things there. Charter College policy generally expects around a 90% for instructor performance on those.